Okay, we're live.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It is just
Wait a
Dee
minute.
and
Are we live?
It says live.
Okay.
Are we? Guys, are we live? Can you see us?
We're on our own, clearly.
Hi. Oh, my goodness. So, hi, Dee. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, too. Coming off a weekend of being in Gettysburg. And, oh, look, we have some people coming in here.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can figure this out. We normally have our amazing producer in the background, and he is busy this evening. So let me see if I can figure this out. Let's say hi to people real quick.
Yeah.
So we have Stacy. Hello, Stacy. First today. And then let's see. Then there's some back and forth with us.
Yeah. And that was Danny.
And that was me. Yeah. I was like, oh, quick. I was like, oh, Stacy's here. Hi, Mark. Mark Brown. Hi, Mark. Awesome. We have Sandy. Hello.
Hi,
Sandy was with us in at Cashtown.
Oh.
Oh, wait. How do I go?
Michael.
And Michael. Hi, Michael. And I think that is so far so good. So hopefully everyone's having a great evening. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us.
Yeah.
This should be fun. I think we have a dream interpretation that was sent in, right? So we do have a dream.
We do for Sam. So hopefully when Sam pops on, we'll do it. But I have a question. Is anybody watching from the Get Haunted public page? Because on the thing, it shows an error sign.
Yeah, if anyone's watching from the network,
let us know just so I
don't worry about
that. So it shows it's not.
Oh no. I tell you what, with all the holidays and everything, I kind of feel like the energy's a little bit crazy with like everyone rushing around for the holidays. I know a lot of the card pulls that I've been doing for people have been kind of around cups, so like emotions and kind of like trying to get things balanced. So I think that's a little interesting. We'll see how that goes for tonight. Oh, Sandy, she says she thinks she is.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Either way, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think should I do a card pull for Stacy real quick before we jump into things?
Well, I have to say what you said about everybody's cards, like having emotion and stuff. I noticed that my dreams have really ramped up in the last week or so. So I'm wondering if other people are starting to get more dreams or more vivid dreams, and if that has something to do with the energy.
I kind of think it has. I think so, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Are people on the side here? Has anyone noticed any influx with dreams, or even do you think like maybe even certain patterns might be showing up more so for people with dreams at this point?
I would be curious to know. I was just telling you, I've been getting some dreams that are just over the top. And so I'm wondering, is that just something that's happening to me? Because when you said about the tarot readings, that made me think maybe it has something to do with the energy, the time with all these Mercury retrogrades and all the stuff that's happening.
Didn't we just have a full, I'm usually so good with this and I haven't been. I think we're coming out of there was a full moon not too long ago too. I feel like those sometimes mess with people a little bit.
Oh, definitely, especially with dreams. Yeah.
What was Mark saying?
What does this say?
Oh, you know what? I'll let you do it. I'm going to let you do it.
At least we can both do it. Mark Brown says, I have them every night, just only remember a very small amount. Do you feel like they've become more intense on the topics, or are they topic driven?
Let us know, Mark, if you've noticed if there's a pattern or anything going on with them. All right, I'm going to pull a card.
I'm going to check the page. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. That's what it looks like. You see what I'm pulling from this. So I'm seeing right away, I'm seeing the fact that she's holding the pentacle, and I'm seeing, for some reason, the mountains in the background, and the fact that it's kind of a maturity aspect to it. There's the rabbit in the foreground, so there's like fertility. So the maturity of ideas or projects coming into fruition, or maybe coming into a time of just groundedness. And just there's this contentment that comes with this card. So I feel like this is one of those, like, whatever you've been working on, it's like it's hit that point of things are falling into place or they're already there, and you're able to just take in all of the good vibes and the good energy from that. Investments, absolutely, that could be a thing for because Pentacles is very much about the materialistic, finances, groundedness, just all of those aspects of security too. So yeah. Absolutely. Nice. I like that.
Mark says his dreams have been random.
Oh.
Maybe they're not as random as you think, though. Sometimes if you write them all out, you'll see a pattern.
Yeah, try doing that for a couple of days. See if you can like scribble them down as soon as you wake up and see if you notice a pattern. So this is the first time for a while I actually had, and I wish I would have jotted down what was going on. So I had this dream, but it felt like it was like 3 or 4 dreams that were going on all at once. And I woke up and I was like, what? I was so confused. I'm like, how did all of these things feel like they were going on all at the same time? Is that like a regular thing? Because I feel like my dream patterns are all messed up all the time anyway. So I don't really know.
I find myself that, like, I wrote out the dream from last night that was so intense and it had so many different things going on. But when I wrote it out and kind of tapped into my memory, they kind of all ran into each other. And it's like, it's just kind of like, they're very like, dreams are like really cryptid. And it's sometimes I feel like you're like on an Alice in Wonderland journey. It's not quite right, but it does tell a story if you follow it along, but you transition into weird spaces and they don't seem like they fit. But when you look at what they each mean, they actually do kind of flow. So I think for me, I have choppy dreams. I call them choppy dreams.
But that kind of is a great way to explain them, because it's no real, like, because the last one I woke up, I was like, what the heck? There was no like defined start or end to either any of them. They kind of just all bled together. And I was like, there's no way that was all one cohesive dream. But
no, well, I mean, I think they say that you have like 4 to 5 dreams every night. So each one could be classified as its own dream. And it just kind of like your subconscious may have started a storyline. Maybe it's kind of like writing, like they start off with a story and they're like, oh, never mind, let's try this. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I feel like it's like that.
It's almost like you're like, this one would have been like my dreams had ADD because they were all over the place. Coming on here.
There's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Oh, thank you for tuning in. So there was something with holidays I wanted to ask, because I kind of stress a little bit during the holidays. So do you find that you have people that reach out with more things that are related to stress with dreams during this time of year? Or do you think that that's just like a normal, like, I don't know, how am I trying to ask?
That's a good question. Because I've only been doing this for others, like the general public, like people that I don't know well, for about a year. I think I started like right around last December. So I don't know. I feel like I've gotten less dreams during this time. So I don't know if people are preoccupied and not recording their dreams because they're busy trying to get ready for the holidays and stuff.
That does make sense. Yeah. That's why I didn't even think to write mine down the other day, because I have so many things going on in my head.
So I dreamed the other night I woke up in bed with dog shit in my bed. I was upset and threw it in the corner where there was a huge collection of more dog shit. Ooh, how interesting.
So that is wild.
So that would be like, so then it's not your own, it belongs to an animal and it's in your bed. So something is causing you not to be able to rest, because your bed is where you get rest and relaxation. And so the fact that it's a dog is, I mean, dogs are generally like protection, but it could be whatever it means to you. But the fact that it's, crapping in your bed, so something's causing you not to be able to get rest. And instead of dealing with it, you're just throwing it in the corner, like apparently you've been doing for a while. So what that means is you need to address whatever it is that's, interfering with you getting rest.
So it's kind of like a heads up that, hey, pay attention to this kind of a thing.
Yeah. Small dog shit. That's a little problem.
So you'd be like, what, small issues? Funny. Oh my goodness. So I was So I was trying to figure out something that I could like throw in and be like, hey, fun facts. I don't know how many people on the site actually read tarot cards. I'm not sure. Like I know a lot of people do it, but I wasn't sure if people even. So like a really easy way to read cards when you're first starting is just to even understand what the four suits mean. So I thought maybe I'd throw a couple things out there for that, if that's okay. If you're cool with
Yeah,
it.
I love that because I'm
Okay.
still trying to learn. So
So there are of the minor arcana, there are the four suits. There's the wands, which also represent opposite represent fire. Your swords are also like the element of air. Cups are obviously water because they're holding the water. And pentacles would be like your earth, which is why I always say grounding when pentacles come up. Guys, sorry, it's been a long weekend. I don't know why I can't talk, but here we go. So when you see wands, a lot of times with the wands, let me see if I can pull one up just to show it. Here's one. Like in the Rider-Waite deck, they usually have like, like the little offshoots going off on them. They look like sticks. Anytime you see them, there's going to be like a trigger for forward movement with creativity, desire, almost like a building, a growth of desire. And this usually has something to do with your career or building a career, which I always associate that because you can say, okay, like your wands are like wood. So you're like building something. Like if you would build something in the physical, well, you would build it maybe from wood. So that's a nice way to be like, okay, that's like building a career. Also spirit and drive. For some reason that it makes sense to me for the wands to have like the spirit and the drive for that. But then also your swords. And it's funny because like your sword cards tend to be super scary. Do you ever notice that? Like all the sword cards kind of look really scary. Like this one for sure. Like they're never fun. And I always hate pulling these for people. And the thing with cards too is, and I don't read reverse. I refuse to because the cards have everything you need within them. And if there's going to be something that gets pulled out, it's either you're going to see it right away. You're going to get drawn to it, or you're going to look at the cards aside of it if you're doing a multiple card pull. So I don't really feel like you need to worry about. I was never taught to worry about the rotation of it, but when you do look up like your keywords, it always says like upright and reverse. They're all there, but swords are going to be because they're air, right? So like your thoughts, your thought processes, your intellect, anything like like when they say like the tension in the room, you could cut the tension in the room, like that. Those kinds of feelings, and those like your thought processes, your ability to communicate with others, and then cups, which I love this one. This is one I pulled the other day. Cups are always going to be more of like anything to do with water. Water is usually like your emotions, right? So this is going to be anything that is an emotion based, anything that you're feeling, anything that's going to be pulling from your heart center is going to be anything with cups. So if you see that, it's going to be very emotional based, or it's going to be water is also associated with like divination. So anything that has to do with like your magic, your divination, and then your pentacles, which I already said was grounding because of the earth, but also your finances and anything to do with the material realm. So like when you see those, it's usually a nice way to pull you towards, okay, what is this card trying to tell you? Just I don't know. For me, it helps to know like those little key aspects.
Yeah, definitely. That because I'm a big word association. So the fact that like I'll always remember that the cups is water. That's easy to remember, right? And
yes, absolutely.
Swords cutting the air. It's so thick you could cut the air. I mean, like you just said things that will totally stay with me forever.
That's how I remember them. I either need to do like little catchphrases or, okay, what was this? Like, what does this make sense to for me and associate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so good. Let's see. Sal.
Hi, Sal.
Hi, Sal. And then Sam's here now. Hi, Sam.
I'm excited for the dream with Sam.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So should we do Sam's dream?
Yeah, do you want to? I'm excited to hear about it.
Let's see, I'll bring it back up. Okay. So this was Sam's son who had the dream, and I don't know how old he is. But okay, so here's the dream. Let's see. He dreamt that him, his mom, his dad, his brother, and his brother's friend were killed. Or so his brother and his friend were killed by a horror movie person. He didn't see who, but knew it was one of them horror movie people. He was in our house and saw a grandma chasing him with spider legs. He escaped and went outside and saw Pennywise. But a twist is he felt comfortable around Pennywise because Pennywise helped him escape from the grandma with the spider legs. So that's scary, especially depending on how old he is. You know, that's a terrifying
So
dream.
he was saying that he's 9 years old. That's terrifying.
Okay.
When you're 9 years old, that's a lot.
Yeah. You don't want a grandma with spider legs chasing you.
No, that's like terrifying. Even I'm 40 and that's terrifying.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God.
I don't want that dream. But I kind of, so I did an analysis of this, and this is what I think it might mean. So being chased means he's avoiding an issue, some issue. He saw his brother and his brother's friend killed. So something about their relationship he feels has been killed off. So it could either be his relationship with them. It could be his relationship with his brother because now the friend's there. It could even be a relationship that maybe he had with the friend. So somewhere he feels like some aspect of how they were hanging out or whatever was going on, he has lost. And then the spider legs grandma, it's fear or someone is deceiving him. The grandma, the old lady, depends on his view, but it's wisdom. So it's like the grandmother is chasing after him with the awareness that something has changed and it scares him. And so the Pennywise being his unexpected alliance, that's his inner protective side. So he's channeled like his, strongest defense against this. And that would be Pennywise to kind of counteract what's going on. So that's what I think. I think there's just some dynamic with their relationship that caused all that. It could even be one moment, like maybe they were all hanging out together and they said something that didn't work for him in that moment. It could be just about that one day, not overall,
Okay, yes, it was just like his subconscious decided to focus on that one moment, right. And then that's where that came from. Wow, that is wild. So as you were discussing that, I did pull some cards for it. Do you think anywhere in there they would fit for having to make a decision or being pulled in two different directions and having to choose, like having to make a choice? Because that's what came up right away when you started, was someone having to make a choice for something. And and then just having that struggle, that battle, which makes sense, right? He was having to deal with all kinds of creepy stuff. But then there was also this, was that six? The Six of Wands, which is kind of like a homecoming or wanting a reconnection, which makes sense, right? Like if you were saying like if there was like a disconnect with a friend or a family member, like you would want that reconnection. So that kind of makes sense for that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Oh, Stacy, grandma with spider veins.
Oh,
let's see. So he's struggling in math. This is his first year being homeschooled from his friends, and he's fixing to play basketball for a new team, and he has the fear he won't do good. Okay.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense then. Oh, and he'll be good. He'll be just fine. Oh. Yeah. But I get it. Like there's anxiety, right? When you start something new. I know for me, and full of anxiety, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? Anytime there's something new that needs to be faced, I'm like, oh, okay. Because then you go through that, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be good enough? What if this? What if that? And really, it's just, you get into the moment and you're just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
right?
it's so true. Oh, here we go.
Well, hey, thank you.
Thanks. I'm glad that'll help him.
Yeah, I'm excited to let us know what he thinks of it then, too. That would be fun to hear what he thinks.
Yeah.
Especially, you think like that's still a very stressful age. Like you're coming out of being a smaller child and you're coming into a more adult world. And there's a lot of stress when you're that age. I think it's just a different form of stress than what we're used to in this moment.
Definitely like 9 to 13. Oh
my God. Yeah. I never want to go back through those ages ever again.
No.
Never.
I agree. I didn't like those.
No.
I did bring my cards because last time you asked me what my cards were, and even though I use them on a regular basis, I couldn't remember what they were. So I'll show you guys now.
Please do.
So this is an oracle deck, and it's called Dream Interpretations, and it's just that's the whole name, and it's basically it has a little book that comes with it, and these are all ones I recommend too. I really like them, and they just have cards like this, and it has, you know, like this one is youth, right?
Oh, and I can see that from that.
Yeah, I'll hold it up so you can look at it. Let's see. You see that?
Yeah. Oh, I love the pictures are pretty.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's mostly an intuitive deck. It has very small descriptions, so you mostly need to see how it fits into the dream. So what they actually want you to do with this one is they want you to line up all the cards. There's 36 cards. You line them all up on your table and you look at them and you pick images that you feel are from your dream, something similar, right? So if you're falling, you would pick like a card where you're falling. And so it's just supposed to help you, like maybe if you're struggling with doing dream analysis for yourself, that you would line up the cards and write it down. And it just gets you to kind of get those wheels turning so that you can do interpretations and remember stuff.
Do you think like that kind of gives you a way to like look at it from a different angle?
Yeah, right? Definitely. Yeah. So this is the one that, you know, I think that's the most like just kind of use your intuition. And then I use these that are called the Dream Decoder cards.
Ooh.
But these are just like, they're kind of like the dream dictionary type of card. So you'll have like, so here's some, you know, somebody driving, right, on a road.
Okay.
And this one is car speeding out of control. And it gives you a whole meaning of what that could mean.
Oh, like a breakdown of it. What does it mean for the car out of control? What does that one say?
Well, on this one, it says cars represent your path in life or the direction you are currently taking. An out of control or speeding car suggests you might be veering off track or moving faster than you should. You may be heading for danger in some area of life. For example, rushing with not enough thought into a new relationship or leaving an established one, or plunging too hastily into a big life change, such as a new job or a relocation, although the warning could be about something less serious like a vacation plan. If you aren't the driver, the dream may be telling you that you ought to be. Someone may be leading you astray, or perhaps you're being influenced by another's agenda. A driverless car often points to powerlessness, a sense of aimless drifting. If this interpretation seems probable, sorry, I can't read. If this interpretation seems probable, try to identify the forces that control you and consider how to regain the initiative. So like if somebody else is driving your car, then you got to look at who's driving the car, where are they taking you? Again, it like provokes you to think for yourself, you know?
Oh, but it gives you a starting point. Like, okay, here's where you can map out what's going on because here's this one little tidbit.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love that. Those cards are fun.
They are. All these I love. But I just got a new deck. So then there's the Mystical Dream Tarot. Oh, this one's really great. So this is the full tarot deck, and it's like a big, beautiful box, and it comes with this big book that's just full of stuff. And it gives you like different spreads, and it like gives you a whole introduction, tells you like what you need to know about pulling cards. And then like an example, this would be like one of the cards. And so like this one's named Dreamer of Swords. So see, it's so hard to do this. Okay.
It really is. I feel like, thank you. Like I always feel like I just have no idea. That is so gorgeous. Oh, I love the photo. Yeah, not photos. I guess it's a picture, but oh my goodness.
Yeah. So she's got like the pitchfork, but it looks like it's electrified. And the emotions are coming like out of the breast. And then she's surrounded, like it looks like the tree, like the roots.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like a crescent moon, but then it looks like it's going full circle. So could just be the moon.
Oh, I love it. So does that go along the lines of tarot itself, or is this more of like?
Yeah, so they named them like all dream related stuff, and I don't have these memorized. I've tried, but like the Dreamer of Swords is, let's see, they name them all. Like an example would be the Master of Secrets is the Magician. So not only do you have to, like, if you're somebody who does read tarot, then you would have to probably figure out which ones, because they
Yeah,
renamed them
but in a
all.
way, they kept it kind of similar. Like, so for that one, for
Yeah,
the magician, that's pretty similar. It's easy to kind of figure that out.
yeah.
I love
See if
that.
I can find this one. Dream Protector. The Hierophant's the same, if I said that right. Lovers.
Yeah. Also,
The
some of
Moon
the
Chariot is the chariot.
I love it. The chariot card's such a fun card.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. What is it called again? Dreamer of Swords. So, but basically, it gives you a full description of what the card means. And then it also gives you like the reading, and it also gives you the reverse reading, which when I always thought, oh, you got to know what the reverse is. Well, reverse is, it's just the opposite. It's whatever you need to work on. So if it's something that tells you, you're going to have abundance, then maybe you're not having abundance. I mean, I can't find it now. I don't know.
Oh,
It's a mystery card. I've never pulled that one before either. And it was at the top of the deck.
I
How
love
interesting. It's a mystery. Somebody should ask you for a card while I find this.
Oh, yes. Does anyone want a card pull?
Dreamer of Swords. What the hell? It's like, is it even in here, or is this like a really magical card?
I'm going to pull a card for Sam real quick. Okay, Sam, you got the Page of Cups. So for this one, a page is usually either represents youth or represents someone bringing some sort of message to you. And with the cups, obviously that is more of your emotion based, anything to do with how you're feeling about something, anything that's from your heart center. So this could be you're having something, a new idea, or some new aspect of your life is going to be coming into fruition that is going to fulfill your heart center to make you feel a connection to your feelings. And this could also indicate, because we're talking about your son, this could actually have something to do with your connection with your own child, because the Page of Cups is also representative of children too. So this could be maybe even a connection with your children and it being fulfilling. So I don't know if anything with that resonates with you, but it's a very happy card. It's a very like almost like spring-like. I don't know if you can see, but there are little flowers on his tunic. So it is very like just like everything just coming up fresh, all like fresh new life. Oh, good. Oh, did Leo pop? Oh, yep. He jumped up on the bed.
We got our producer back too.
Oh, hey, Rob.
I look, I'm like, wait a minute, somebody's popping this up.
Yeah, you kind of snuck in there. Thank you. Does anyone else want another card? Did you find it?
I did find it. Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, so it says the Dreamer of Swords. Oh boy. But it doesn't tell me what that would be equal to, like in that suit of swords. Because in the swords, there's like there's extra cards, right?
There's the ace to 10, and then there's the king, queen, page, and knight. That one kind of looks like it almost is representative of, here, let me find it. With swords, the Two of Swords, for some reason it reminded me of that, and maybe it's not. I could be completely off. Maybe it's the Queen of Swords, but it kind of made me think of, just because the pitchfork it's more than one prong, and there was a lot of water and the moon.
Yeah.
It kind of made me think of that, but it also could be Queen of Swords. If there isn't a Queen of Swords in your deck, it could be that.
It came after the 10 of Swords, And it's before the Spirit of Swords, Lady of Swords. Like I said, they changed all the names.
They did.
But the meaning is it's wisdom leading to heroism, successful combat.
Kind of sounds more like the Queen.
Okay. So maybe that's their version of the Queen.
Reminds me of the Queen a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a gorgeous. I love that. The deck just seems like all the are gorgeous on it. I love that.
It gives beautiful like information. I really like it.
So was that the one that you were gifted, or was that one that you had found on your own?
No, I haven't even showed you that. I'll show you that one after you do the reading.
Okay.
I got a new one. No, I bought this one.
I love that deck. Was there, let's see, I think we did Sam's. Was there anyone else who?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle? Okay, so I have, for this one, this is the Six of Swords. So when we were talking about swords there, we always talk about how that's like your thought processes, your intellect. With this, water is emotion. So I don't know if you can see, like you're moving away from really choppy water into a smooth water. So this is one of those, you may have been going through something that you either it wasn't resonating with you or was a struggle for you in some form. Not necessarily like a huge struggle, but something that you didn't feel right with it. You weren't vibing with it. So now your energy is going to be moving away from the not so great feelings and the not so great situations. And you're kind of coming into this whole new realm where things are just clear sailing ahead. And the one thing with this one is because they're not looking back, my suggestion would be, don't look back. Anything that you're leaving behind for a reason. So even if you get that urge to kind of like go back to something from your old situation, don't. It's not going to give you anything that's worth the while for you. So things are looking good. Clear water ahead. So that's a big plus. I like that. This is one of my favorite swords cards because you're coming out of crap into something good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we all want to hear.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions as far as dream interpretations? Has anyone had anything crazy going on in their dreams? Oh, good, Michelle. Good. I'm glad. So since we are coming up on the holidays, if someone has, like, say they have a dream where Santa comes, but then like he leaves something and it's like an empty gift, would that be, I was wondering about that the other day. I'm like, I've had dreams where like I get a gift and the box is empty, or is there something that would be behind that would be like a special meaning behind it?
Well, I mean, that could represent, depending on like what else was going on, could represent like disappointment. Things are not like what you thought they were going to be, like like a present, something that you're excited to get, but then when you open it, it was really nothing.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think I've ever dreamt about Santa.
No, I'm trying to think. Like, it's because like the holidays coming up. I'm wondering if like that will like weave into people's dreams. But what would that represent? Would that be the same as getting a gift? Because he's like the giver of hope and like gifts and excitement.
I don't know.
Like, I don't really know like what he would represent.
I think he would represent different things to different people.
I guess that would be one of those like, what does it mean to you situations?
Yeah.
Right? Mm.
But I mean, I guess Santa, to me, when the first thing I think of is like Christmas and gifts,
Yeah.
Or somebody else might see it as lies that we tell our children.
Oh, really?
So your wife used to have dreams that she would get presents and they were empty?
Huh. Oh, Sam, do you remember anything from your dream?
Yeah. What do you remember from your dream? You got to write them down. Although sometimes, like if you do it enough, like I woke up in the middle of the night. I actually had a dream that I was pregnant But I wasn't me. I was looking in the mirror and I was somebody else and I was pregnant. And I was like, how did this happen? I know there was a man I didn't know in it and was helping him to some degree with something.
It's like helping a stranger.
Do you remember anything about the man? Like how you felt about him?
Did you see Stacy's comment?
That and giving birth to a cheeseburger.
That's a dream right there. Woo.
There was man I didn't know. Yeah, that's just.
So remember, I think at one point, I don't know, I think that you had said something about the people in your dreams could also represent aspects of yourself. Is that, did I remember that correctly?
I think usually they do represent you. Like you are all the characters in your dreams. Sometimes they're other people and sometimes they're situations and stuff too, but usually they're just different. You're basically talking to yourself, hanging out with yourself. It's all you and it's different aspects of yourself, but not always. It can be outside things too.
I always find that fascinating.
Yeah. It's interesting if you think about it that way too, because your brain starts to break it down and assign characters to your different like viewpoints and attitudes, and it's kind of weird to think about if you remember a lot.
It's like too, like, so if you're having a disagreement or you're not jiving with somebody in your dream, that could maybe be an aspect of something within yourself that you should be focusing on. To like, there's something,
an inner conflict.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh God, that's freaking amazing. That just excites. I don't know. It's exciting.
I know it does me too, because it's mind blowing how much information that we can learn from our dreams. Like I always say.
It's true though.
He was big and had brown hair and I did not feel scared. And you were trying to help him. Well, I mean, it could be some aspect. It could even be, now that you were talking about your son, it could even be like worrying about your son and how you're going to help him, deal with things, since we're talking about his changes with his schooling and everything. Or it could be something within yourself that you're trying to work out. I hope I don't dream about giving birth to a cheeseburger now.
I'm saying that would be a really odd dream. I don't know how I would feel about waking up after that one and be like, okay.
Well, I'll show you this deck that I got. So this is the one that I just got. It's an early Christmas present. And the person who made those other cards, the psychology cards, this is the same person. So this is a brand new deck that she made. And last time I looked, they only had a few left on Amazon. So I don't even know if you can get them right now, but I love it. It goes with the moon cycles. So it breaks it down into the 4 moon cycles. And then like an example, and they're oracle. So like, and you can see, let's see if I get it closer. See the picture?
Oh, I see it. Oh, I love that.
And so I think there's 48 cards. And in the book, like an example, like say if you get balance, the book is kind of small. So like I need a magnifying glass, but so like you get the card balance and it'll tell you what the qualities of the card are. And I like to I've been looking at just the cards and trying to figure out what I think that it means that you've been teaching me to do. And that's really been helping me.
Oh, good.
And then so like that one is challenge, blindside, surprise, reveal, galvanize. But I believe that you could put your own whatever intuitively how it speaks to you, like you say. And then it talks about the moon cycle, what moon cycle it's in. And then it gives you a ritual to do. So you have a ritual, and then it gives you a whole insight about the ritual and the meaning of the card. And then it gives you a mantra to repeat each day or night.
Oh, I like that.
It's the most thorough oracle deck I've ever seen in my life. But like I said, I think she might be a psychologist. I'm not sure. I know she's a dream interpreter. But she wrote the orange deck that I was showing you with the dream dictionary stuff. So her stuff is really thorough. So this is my new favorite now. And I pulled a card for myself, and it was funny because I do I'll just ask, what do I need to know, or what can help me? And so I was asking about, what should I be doing? Am I doing the right things? And I got the card that was purpose. And then it went into, to follow your purpose, and you intuitively know if you're on the right track or not. And then it gave an exercise to do. And then I did a dream interpretation for someone, and I pulled a card, and it was spot on as well. So I was like, these are really cool.
I love it because
And
even if it's something that you in the back of your head you already know, like the purpose thing, like it brings it to the forefront, so you think about it again, which is
exactly
phenomenal.
Oh yeah, you would love this deck.
I want to get that deck. That's phenomenal. Do you like the mantras? Like, have you ever tried doing?
Well, I just got them, so I got them like, I don't know, a couple of days ago. So I've just been trying to go through and memorize them, but it's going to take me the rest of my life probably.
Oh, I'm horrible with memorizing anything. Like, give me a couple keywords and I'll have to find a way to dissociate it to myself, and then otherwise forget it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that like by learning from you and watching how you do it, that it'll click. The switch will come on, and
you'll find your own little like groove with it, and you'll be like, oh, you got this.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I did. So I was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, I need to know all these definitions. I need to know exactly what all these things. And then when I finally was just like, you know what, I can't do this. I'm stressing out. I'm just going to look at them and whatever. So now the more that I've been doing that, the more I'm like, oh, I'm actually pretty spot on with like those keywords that when you look them up, I'm like, okay, I got this. Like it kind of helps build your confidence too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And like I picked up a couple different books. They're all over the place. So I've been picking up books because I feel like there's certain like how to read tarot, like those how to read tarot books, right?
Yeah.
Some of them, there's certain chapters or there's certain ways they explain things. It'll catch my eye, but I could never sit through an entire book. I'm always flipping through like a million different. I can't even do it in order. But I've been noticing like the one that I've been looking at lately has been breaking down the colors. And I never really like thought that, okay, yeah, the colors actually have a lot of meaning behind the cards too. Like why there's more yellow in a card versus red, or I don't know. Is that,
you know what?
Colors
She does the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's green and there's blue. I don't know where I saw that. It's like when you read about, like when you first get a deck, it gives you like the introduction. Yeah. And yes, sometimes I do read the introduction. Rob knows what I mean by that. But it did mention colors. And something that came up to me too when I was talking to Cardsy is that numbers are very powerful in the tarot as well, which I didn't even like notice.
No, certain numbers represent certain things within a deck. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Like 4 is usually stability. 5 is usually imbalance. There's different things. And I'm sure between different decks, I'm sure that they have different associations. Yeah. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. So bad. But yeah, in this one book that I'm reading, they were saying how like red, these kind of make sense because like when you look at them, the association, like red would be like passion, courage, vitality. And they were saying how like yellow is your creativity and your optimism. And like black is just about like your unconscious, banishing wisdom. So it's nice sometimes to have those little keywords even for the colors because there are different cards where like a lot of the like some of them are like all completely in yellow and so it's like it's kind of like pulling from almost like your solar plexus, like your seat of power, like your seat of self. So like with that one, it's like there's deceit and like having to figure out like, okay, like where do you feel as far as like your own being within. It's like if you're with a group of people, someone's being deceitful. So it's not, it's not encouraging your seat of self to be powerful. I don't know how to I don't know.
Can it even be like deceiving yourself? Like when you pull a card for somebody, and people are always looking for it to be, like, oh, is my lover cheating on me? Or am I going to lose my job? But sometimes does it really come down to maybe it's about them and something that's within them that they need to work on rather than something external?
A lot of times with tarot, because it's a way to have that gateway for a conversation with yourself, basically. So you're communicating with your subconscious, your higher self. It opens up that dialect so that you can look at different things within yourself. So yeah, a lot of the times when you do a card reading and you're worried about that other person in your life, or, you know, like, oh, my boss or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whatever. A lot of times it has to do with how you're perceiving everything, how you're receiving their energy, how you're reading what they're doing. Tarot's it's very much more about the individual than it is about the people around them. But so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the same with dreams. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it totally is. I see a lot of, the more we talk, the more similarities I see with the two, that they really do align a lot, you know.
Very well. Yeah. There's a lot of times
Mhm.
where, oh, that clicks even for, you'll be explaining a definition for like a dream interpretation symbol or something. I'm like, oh my God, that fits with, you know, X, Y, and Z cards. And it's exciting because they blend very nicely together. And
Yep.
it's that conversation with yourself, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. So do you have
So
any,
quiet.
I know, is there any tips for people? So like, so we have people that come up on the side very regularly. I love it. Thank you guys. But is there
Yeah.
a tip that you could give them? So like maybe they're not sure what they should be looking for in their dreams. Is there something that you could give them as far as a tip to help them so they could share their dreams with us?
Well, if you're really serious about it, I would write down, like, say you do remember your dream, and so you write it all out. But then I also find that once you've written it out, draw a picture. And like, I will draw pictures, and my art is not art. But it helps me to see, because when I look at the picture that I drew, I can visualize what I actually saw in my dream. And the more you like just work with your dream, you think about it. If you have somebody that you can share it with, you know, a friend or whatever, if you like can have a chance to just share your dreams with each other and stuff, the more you talk about it, the more you'll remember details, and it will make it, you'll get, the more details you have is always the better, because you can really get deep into the dream. Although I've had people that have so many details that it's overwhelming. And so if you're somebody who has like a book, you know, you have a 3-page essay about what your dream was about because you remember so much about it, then you've got to go through it with like your highlighter and say, pick out the big things.
Oh,
so you
okay.
get the big picture. Then you can kind of dig into all the little sub symbols to get really deep into each section of it. So it just depends. You could be somebody who remembers very little or too much. Either way can be bad in a way.
Right. I guess
yeah.
too much. You're right. That would be very overwhelming. Like, where do you start with the interpretation then if you have that much information to sift through?
Yeah. I've had people send me dream interpretation. It's literally like 7 paragraphs, and it's like, and so I literally have to break it down, like I said, into the big, what, you know, each big symbol stands out here, and then look at each paragraph or each section separately. You know.
Man. Do you ever have it where like if you have those very long dreams that someone sends you, is it easy for you because you've been doing this? Is it easy for you to pick out like the bigger details, or is that still something like you have to like kind of go through and say, okay, what would this mean to them? Or like, how do you have a like set process for going through?
I seem to be able to pick up like on the big symbols, and then I'll also usually pick up on one thing that I feel is like the most important symbol. And that's usually the one that I will ask you, what does this mean to you? Because I know that that is what all these other things are about. It's all pointing to this one thing. And if we know what the one thing is, what it represents, then it really helps them figure out what the answer is. Because ultimately I'm looking at it like a mystery. This is a puzzle that I've got to solve. What does this mean? You know, because there's a message. I believe there's always a message in your dream. I mean, it could be something really basic, like, you know, I hate my job, but it's, you know, still there's always going to be some sort of a message.
I love that. So, okay. So like, even when you find those bigger things, like that could, once you figure the bigger aspects out, that kind of filters through all the little things then too. It kind of like cleans it all up for you.
Yeah, because what you'll do is you'll take the main topic of the dream, and then you can work on the, I guess I'll call them like sub symbols, and it'll break down, like it'll be almost like a little manual, an instruction manual of how you're feeling about something, how you're dealing with something, why maybe you're dealing with it. A lot of times, like the way, if we learned something in the past on how to deal with something, say you had somebody in your life when you were young that always yelled at you, every single time somebody in your adult life yells at you, you're going to revert back to whatever way the emotions you use to deal with it. Then your childlike, immature ways of dealing with it, you use as an adult to deal with it. And that comes out a lot in dreams, and people don't even realize it.
That makes sense though. Oh my goodness. I love that. That's funny. So you could really connect with your inner child through, because I know I was thinking about doing this with tarot cards, because that whole like reconnecting with your inner child and like healing your childhood traumas. I was trying to think if there's got to be a way for me to do this with the tarot cards, because it's something that I'm very interested in. But that's something you can also do with the dream interpretation very easily, especially after what you just said about that's like you revert back to like those moments in your life.
Yeah, you could even do it when you're awake. I mean, if you, like I said, we set ourselves up in patterns. I know what my patterns are, and the people that I unconsciously will seek out so that I can then blame them or complain about it. You know what I mean? And other people might seek out, like you see a lot of times people will seek out abusive relationships over and over again until finally one day they're like, wait, I don't want to be in this sort of relationship. But it takes a long time, and it's something that carried over usually from childhood. It could be from, any time in your life. It's a trauma, and that's how we deal with it. And so when we don't recognize it at all, it comes out a lot in dreams.
So you're literally, it's showing you your patterns, kind of like, you can recognize your pattern, then you can break it. But until you recognize it, right?
You can't, because you don't know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Those kind of things I get really excited about. That's why I was like with the tarot, because it's something that I'm like, okay, because I'm noticing patterns within myself for things that I thought, right? I thought, oh, I have this under control, no problem. And now all of a sudden I'm starting to see them again. I'm like, there's got to be a way to use the tarot cards to like help me refocus so that I can figure out what I need to actually break in those cycles. But okay, that's
the one I like is that I've done when I first got my very first deck. I did the 3 cards where you read your past, your present, and your future.
Yeah.
And like I feel like if you were to read the past, and I always feel like it's an intention thing. I always just ask whatever I want to know. So like you should like create your own spread for that. Like figure it out and create your own spread. But something like asking about your inner child versus your adult self, you know what I mean? And that'd be so cool if you did that.
And like whatever those cards lay out, that's something that Dee, I'm gonna try that. That's exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, totally gonna try that. And I'm totally gonna let you know how it goes too.
Yeah, good.
Absolutely. I'll figure out like what I want like for each one, and then I'll set the intention, right? Pull the cards, and then Dee, thank you.
That'd be really cool. That would be really helpful to a lot of people too.
Nice. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. And that would be the way. Yeah, because I'm like trying to figure out there's got to be a way to like sit with these right there. You just gave it to me. Just like set the intention as you're pulling the card. Perfect. I don't know why I couldn't pull that together myself, but thank you.
Like, well, we're done now.
I got this. Anyone on the side? Do you have any questions? Do you have anything that you'd like to ask us? Do you want a card pulled? Do you want to know a symbol? Hi, Courtney.
There's Courtney. Hi.
Oh, did I?
It wasn't me.
You know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to leave everything alone. Courtney, would you like a card pulled by chance since you popped on?
Michael wants one.
Michael would like a card pull. Let's pull a card for Michael. So I'm seeing, okay, King of Wands. So, okay, so what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of content, like just like kind of like being proud. So pride, contentment. Do you have something that right now you're in the midst of, like you started a new career or a new project, or you're thinking about building something where you're feeling really good about it? Because for me, this card means that you kind of wherever you're going with that thought process, you're mastering it. You are going to be able to get through it very well. I love Rob's card readings. They're hilarious. No, this was just kind of you're in the right place for whatever you're about to be doing. It's going to move through very, very authoritatively, like very like just you're going to have confidence in whatever it is that's coming up for you. I don't know if that makes sense for you at all, Michael, but you're right. Wasn't Rob's card, what was that, the Twisted Tarot?
Yeah. I'm afraid to ask for one of those.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait till he does it again. It was hilarious. Let's see. Did Courtney say sure for a card pull? Yay. Okay. Okay. This is for Courtney. The Lover's card. Okay. So this depends on your situation. So if you are considering a relationship, or if you are in a relationship right now, this is kind of like a strengthening of the bonds, of communication, of making choices together, and maybe leveling up your commitments or your relationship. If you are, like, I don't know your situation, so please don't take this the wrong way, but if it comes off, if you are single, this is about the connections with yourself, about making choices to better yourself and to just strengthen that bond with the universe. So this comes down to like choices or commitments and leveling up commitments. I don't know if that makes sense to you at all, but Lover's card's always a nice card. And then also too, the angel on the top here is kind of like divinely driven. So universe kind of has your back on whatever direction that you're moving. You really can't make a bad decision there as long as you're sitting with it and letting it, like, just kind of going with your heart center with that one, if that makes sense at all.
That.
I did too. Oh, good. Well, then there you go. You're going to be strengthening bonds with the universe and just making good decisions that are going to uplift yourself in so many ways. So I love that. Perfect. Right? He does. I agree with you.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun to watch other people get it.
It was. Yes. Oh my goodness. And he's so good with the showmanship of it. Just like how he flows into everything.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. All right, guys. Do we have any other questions or anything that you'd like just to know, like what a symbol means from when you're dreaming? Anything like that before we wrap up tonight? Oh, so as far as for our next show, because I know we're hitting up on the holidays, so
yeah,
I guess we'll see everybody in the new year then, right? Because of the holiday season.
Yeah, because we've got. I noticed Christmas and New Year's is both on a Monday.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah. So, stay tuned, guys, on as far as the date for our next show. We will figure that out, and we'll make sure that we post that in plenty of time for you to get your dreams and your questions together for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have anything else as far as like announcements, or is there anything going on with the dream interpretations that's coming up that you want to plug or anything?
Yeah, just that if you're interested in a full dream interpretation, you can go to thedreamsinterpreter.com, and and then Monday be another Paranormally Blonde show.
Oh,
we have a really cool guest, and it's oh my god, I know who the guest is. Rob who's our guest. It's a really good guest, and he's really nice, and you're going to want to be there and check it out. I just can't remember.
Oh.
No. You don't know?
Oh, when?
Monday, our guest. For
I know the guest. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh.
Richie B.
Richie B, yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay. That's exciting. He is a good dude. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Forgive me. I just got here. I hit a lot of traffic, but
he's like, what are we talking about?
I'm glad you made it home safe. Seriously.
Yeah, barely, but I got here. So.
Oh.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Oh, you guys are gonna have such a good show on Monday. That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I was looking at, because he's really into Bigfoot, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I actually got to talk to him at Heartsiff, and he has all these like these photos and video clips. Like there are things that happen in the woods behind his place. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about that, but that's
I know.
interesting, right? But I don't know if I'd want to like walk up to a Bigfoot. I don't know if I could handle that. But
Yeah, right. You don't want to be like, I worry about coyotes, never mind Bigfoot.
oh my gosh. No, but he had, and I'm sure he'll go over this on the show with you, but he even had like he would walk into the woods and he'd see all these like structures in the trees and stuff. Like it's
I
so
saw that on one of his videos. Yeah.
and they're like high up enough that it would take someone a lot of effort to like, I don't know. I believe it. I believe it was a Bigfoot. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, it's creepy.
For real.
As
Yeah,
long as
right. As
there's
long as no
banjo
banjo's
playing.
playing. No, yeah, I'm running the other direction if I hear that. And yep, I'm done. All right, guys. I think that's it for us for tonight then.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for showing up and for communicating with us, sharing your dreams, for asking for card pulls. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Seriously.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah. And we will see you guys next time. We'll post. We'll figure it out. And we'll post the date then. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, everyone enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.
Bye, guys.